First of all, congratulations on season 3 of You. It has the most massive cult following. I'm a card-carrying member of said cult. How does it feel to have had such an immediate reaction to the show and have folks just as excited about the 3rd season? Penn, let's kick it off with you.
Well, I mean, it hasn't come out yet, but the fact that you're saying these things, I guess. Yeah. No, but I mean, but the fact that like people are, already, I think, very excited to see it. I really want to see what we're not through the pandemic yet, but what like a post-pandemic audience thinks of the same show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm as I've always said, like, it's not always true as an actor that you want to be really conscious of what the audience is thinking. But there's something about this premise that really like asks for audience participation. So I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, Victoria, what about you?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how audiences respond to all of the risks that we took that I'm pretty excited about. Yeah, I'm really curious about the conversations that will be cultivated through the subject matter that we address throughout the season.
Yeah. And we see at the end of season 2 and kicking things off for the next season, Joe is newly obsessed with a neighbor. It seems.
Shocker.
We'll go. Shocker. How far is there left to take it? Do the stakes? I mean, season 2 was just like, wait, what? So are we upping the ante? And give me as many teases as possible as to what that means.
Yeah, we're definitely upping the ante. I mean, I think by the end of the first episode, something quite unexpected happens. It's not outside of the wheelhouse of what would happen, but you might think that would happen at the very end of the season. So it's like we sort of hurdle along very quickly.
Yeah.
So that I think by the end of the season, you're in this totally different place that you didn't think you'd be. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You both have this amazingly unique skill from just going from completely charming and gorgeous and wow, I would hang out with that person to extremely scary and intimidating. What is the trick? What is the key to that very swift transition? Was it hard for you to nail? Is that a fun challenge as an actor? Victoria, let's kick it off with you.
Yeah, I think it's a fun challenge. I don't find many roles that require that, and it was really fun. Especially I got to watch the whole first season of Penn, so I feel like that was the major study, and I was like, I think I could do a little bit of that. Like, how do I conjure some of that within this character as well? Yeah, I really find it very, very fun. I love my job.
Yeah. Penn.
I mean, with Joe, the funny thing is like sometimes you just do less and it's creepier. It's like there's nothing inherently creepy about what I'm doing unless I'm standing, like fully clothed inside the shower of someone I've never actually met. You know what I mean? Like that's a first season reference, but I mean,
it writes itself.
Sometimes the creepiest, what I mean is sometimes the creepiest thing is to do nothing, You don't have to lean into it. It's already like, this is a really creepy situation. So
yeah, touche. You just kind of throw it away and the scene speaks for itself. A lot of creepy moments. You, Penn, are a dad on the show and now in real life. How has your experience been? I hope nothing like Joe's.
I don't know what you mean. It's very similar. No,
that's not concerning at all.
The funny thing is that I was curious what my new fatherhood how that would influence, like, my experience with Joe and acting with him, but sometimes it was almost not helpful because I was having such a light and like joyful experience. Still am, and like Joe is like so petrified. He's like so scared. And of course I can identify with the fear, but I mean, he's just so morbid in his obsessive sort of like self-preservation and like primal instinct that sometimes I almost found it harder as a result. You know what I mean? So it was like it really depended on the scene.
Yeah, I think not having a child allowed me to just come at it as the character. I think that if I felt like I had to draw from my personal experience at all, that would just be like,
Right.
does that work? I don't know. It would just be confusing.
Yeah. And when you think about, you know, the fan base that has grown over season 1, 2, and soon to be 3, what do you think it is about crime, about sort of the scariest underbelly of human existence that draws us in, that keeps us so glued to this stuff? Does it make us feel better about our own lives? What's the draw?
That's a deep question you ask. I mean, honestly, that's
Try to get one in there.
no, of the questions, that's one I'm most interested in, and I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm not sure what the answer is. I mean, I think does it make us feel better? I don't know that it makes us feel better. It's not that it's not fascinating. It's not that it's not valuable. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it's really different for different people. I think people find themselves in different characters, but just being able to explore these dynamics. I think it might have been in this interview where, you know, they're dealing with a lot of things that people deal with in relationships within parenting, within marriage, but just in this really extreme level. And the characters around them are dealing with similar things as well. So I think it's really interesting. And I think when it's working the most is when people are finding themselves in Joe.
Not love.
No. Never love. Surely not love.
It's not Love's show. I mean, it's great, but yeah, I think that's when it really works, because I feel like a lot of the things he struggles with are things that we feel really isolated in and alone in as human beings, but they are shared experiences that are just kind of part of being a human today.
Absolutely. So
yeah, if anything, I mean, it really just raises the stakes. I think what Victoria's saying, and I really agree with, is like, these are universal sort of human experiences and insecurities that these two people are going through. It's just that when you raise the stakes, it makes the story that much more engaging, you know, and frothy. So
yeah. Well, thank you both so much for your time. Congratulations on season 3. We've got our fingers crossed for Lev and Joe. We'll see how this plays out.
might lose those fingers.
Highly likely. And take care.